All right, guys, so now that you get a better understanding of exactly what coaching and consulting is, and we redefined it for you, which is to solve other people's problems, the next question we have for you guys is, why do people even pay consultants in the first place? Because a lot of people who are just starting out in coaching or consulting, they're not really sure why someone would pay another person money for advice when they can learn it themselves. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why people would pay a consultant or coach and why they would pay them premium dollars to help them solve their problems. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, again, let's go ahead and remind you guys why people pay consultants in the first place. Essentially, what you're doing is you're getting someone who is at their present self where they currently are, and you have an idea of where their ideal self is, where they want to be, and your advice as a consultant or coach is to get them from point A to point B, because the problems that they have are that they don't know how to get there by themselves, they want to get there faster, and they need a blueprint, or they just want to talk to an expert about it, and that's where you come in. So based on the story that I told you guys on how I started my consulting career using this concept, essentially what I was doing was I saw that people at Oracle were struggling as salespeople because they were trained by Oracle, but they weren't trained on how to generate leads, and that's where I was going to help them. And so they all wanted to become sales superstars, right? Because you get recognition, you make money if you're generating sales, but they needed to figure out how to generate leads. How do people go from a struggling salesperson to a sales superstar? Well, they don't know. That's the problem, right? They don't know how to get there by themselves, or they might know how to get there, but they want to get there faster, or maybe they just want a step-by-step blueprint or advice from an expert, which will also help them get there faster. And so that is where my LinkedIn sales training came into play. I showed them how to generate leads using LinkedIn messengers. And so I could take people who were struggling as a salesperson, teach them how to generate leads using LinkedIn, and then eventually, once they generate leads and they learn how to close deals, they will become a sales superstar. And that's why my course was valuable, where people wanted to go to it every week, because I would teach them those skills that I gained for myself. But the thing is, consulting is not just limited to business, right? I'm giving you a business example because that's the world that I came from, but you can become a consultant in almost any industry. Because when you really look at this concept, getting someone from their present self to their ideal self using your consulting or your coaching, business is one example that I just gave you. It could be health and fitness, it could be dating, relationships, or even something like youth marketing, reaching the youth. So let's go through this. So let's say someone's present self is that they're overweight and depressed, and you are a fitness and health coach, and your advice or your coaching is going to get them from overweight and depressed to fit and happy. And so people are willing to pay for that kind of service if you can actually do the job. Or someone's present self might be that they're not great with the opposite sex, or maybe the same sex, whether it's a girl or guy, and they are looking for love but don't really know where to start, and they've been failing on their own for years and years and years, and finally they had enough. So they might hire a dating coach or a dating consultant that will teach them how to become more attractive so that they can get to their ideal self, which is to find love. Or it could be something like youth marketing, where there's a lot of brands out there, especially larger, older ones, who don't know how to use like Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat, and you can come in and say, hey, I can run your social media accounts and help you reach the youth as long as you pay me this amount. And so you're getting someone like an old brand who is their present self, which is targeting an older demographic, and you're saying, hey, I'm gonna help you reach the youth demographic if you pay me for my advice or my consulting, and that's going to help them get to their ideal self. So again, those are just some different examples: health and fitness, dating, business, youth marketing, whatever it is. It could be in anything like medicine, real estate, any type of industry where people need advice to get from their present self to their ideal self. That's going to be an industry where a consultant or a coach can come in and give their advice and get paid for helping people get to their ideal self. Now, the thing is, every industry has problems, and every person in that industry has their own personal problems, and every person that has problems experiences pain, right? Pain is the ultimate feeling, because that is the feeling that we have naturally that tells us it hurts and we want to make it go away. So this is an opportunity as consultants and coaches to create value by making that pain go away. You're almost like a doctor, where you're observing what the problems and pains that people have, and you're prescribing them a solution, which is your coaching or your advice or your service, and you're making that pain go away. And so that is the core essential of what it means to become a consultant or coach. And I want to really instill with you guys that it doesn't matter if you don't have any experience, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in. Every industry is ripe to have consultants and coaches. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the next lesson, where we're going to show you the types of different coaching and consulting delivery models.